I'm Cynthia Mulligan at the Hospital for Sick Children with a very difficult story to tell you about tonight. One we do not discuss very often. Youth suicide. A 12-year-old girl is going to be taken off life support this hour after attempting to take her life. Her organs will be donated to try and help save others. And throughout this story, we will have the number for the Kids Help phone to help anyone who needs help. And I am telling you this story with the permission of the child's mother, who wants to raise awareness about this devastating issue. And she also wants you to know her daughter's name, Victoria. Victoria is a grade 7 student in the GTA. A family friend tells me that she is a child who never fit in and was bullied for years. Flowers have been placed for Victoria outside her school, while parents and classmates ask the inevitable question, why? Victoria had only been going to the school for the past 4 months. Her mother's friend tells CityNews she had been bullied at her previous school and that she told her mother there were issues at her new one as well. On a post, Victoria's mother wrote, 15 hours till I kiss my hero, precious little girl, goodbye. Till the day I join her in heaven. This is really impossible heartache and pain. How am I going to live without her? We have seen far too many other young lives lost to suicide in this country. Names we recognize, Amanda Todd, Rehtaeh Parsons. Each had their own story of heartache and isolation. And sadly, it is not uncommon. Statistics show in 2015, 35 children who were just 10 to 14 years old committed suicide in Canada. And it was the second leading cause of death for 15 to 19-year-olds, with 203 dying. One of the most common emails CityNews receives are from desperate parents who are worried their children are being bullied at school. One says he is afraid to go to school and is getting bullied every day. Another, please let me know if you can help. Now, the family friend tells me today that Victoria had been seeing a therapist who told her mother just 2 weeks ago she was not in danger of self-harm. I also spoke with Victoria's school board today. They tell me that they are investigating allegations of bullying at the school. And there are so many anti-bullying programs in schools, and yet this problem still persists. The question is why, and what are we not doing right? Here's part of a conversation I had today with Mark Hennick. He is a mental health strategist who also grappled with suicide for 5 years, starting when he too was 12 years old. What are we doing wrong? What are we missing here?
You know, I think we're always one step behind the problem on this. We're always responding to preventing suicide by lining up ambulances at the bottom of the bridge, essentially, instead of actually getting way further upstream when kids are struggling to begin with, when they're dealing with things like depression and anxiety. Instead of just passing that off as a normal rite of passage for youth, it's not. Kids don't have to struggle like that. We need to do a better job of teaching the entire school community that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to reach out for help, it's okay to struggle. And I think that's where we're failing. We know that bullying doesn't cause suicide on its own, but it's absolutely a risk factor for somebody else who's already at risk of suicide, right? So if that's happening, we should be treating it like we do everywhere else. If it's harassment and assault, then we need to be calling it that, not just a rite of passage.
Now, Mark says it's very important for people to recognize the signs of suicide before it happens. And one of the major risk factors is depression. Kids are generally far more at risk of suicide if they have been diagnosed, and that they need to be diagnosed earlier. And he says that there needs to be a better job supporting them. He also says talk, listen, and ask kids what they need for help. Don't assume you know the answer, and listen.